did it. We did it, everyone. I'm always so nervous. I'm not going to lie. It's tough making this shit work. Welcome, everybody, to Bubble Man's World and the Wake and Bake episode 84. Hope we're all doing well today. Got a few little things from the Karma Cup that I'm going to be giving away. A pin and some terp proof and a little Karma Cup silicone pad. Not sure how I'm going to go about giving that away, but I am going to be giving it away. And we'll see it happening in the near future. Hopefully we're going live here. Make sure everything is on the up and up. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Kind of, all right, here we go. We'll sit over a little bit over here. I hope everyone's having a great effing day. Got a few dabs here. Going to do a little terp dips. Wanted to announce right away to the Canadians in the room that Blue River Canada has another discount on. It got turned off for June. Yes, I did shave. Thanks for noticing. And the new discount is all lowercase letters, Blue River, one word, BLUERIVER, 2017. And the Blue River 2017 code is going to get you 30% off your order. So about $50 off each vial. Definitely worthwhile. Got my Karma Cup shirt on today. Figured I'd wear one. It's actually pretty comfortable. And got people dabbing on the back, so you got to love that. Oh, I would recommend these for any type of light that you have. They have special LED ones. They have special MHS ones, metal halides. They have HPS ones that are right here. They have ones for the sun. And this company is called Method 7. And their logo, their motto, if you will, is Don't Grow Blind. And I love that motto. So I guess we're going to do a terp dip here. Start off this day parappa. Got a little sweet skunk. Got a little Congo. Oh yeah, this shit is like glass. Sometimes you almost have to heat up the dabber to be able to get a hit like this proper. I'm gonna have to melt it so I can get the terp dip. There we go. That'll do it. I think we're gonna go in for some Covelo Sour Diesel. Oh yeah, she was loving the Green Dragon OG brand. She was loving it. Her name is Sarah Sunday. And we are going to talk a little bit about the Karma Cup today. I talked to her the other day and she asked if I could, maybe share a little bit of pertinent information. I am going to be a celebrity judge for solventless, for the hashish. And so if you want to have me testing your hash, smoking your hash, you're going to want to get in touch with thekarmacup.com, and you're going to want to do it before July 28th, because at July 28th is the cutoff date that you need to have the product in Sarah's hand. So that's pretty important, July 28th. And yeah, she's got all sorts of categories. She's got fucking pen categories and solventless categories and solvent categories, bud categories. So much. Well, Kane, I think wholesale it's worth about $50,000 plus US dollars. I think retail, considering they did a piece with Mothership that was very similar that retailed for $125,000 US dollars, I think that cup's worth at least $100,000 US dollars. So it is a little bit insane to think that I was balancing it in the palm of my hand 30 stories above the ground. When I turned around and the owner of the pipe was inside the apartment, he was clutching the Pelican case and clenching his teeth. And he was like, dude, I have never been so nervous. I'm like, hey man, I'm good for it. I'm not going to break your glass. And if I did, I'd pay for it. I mean, don't fuck around with people's glass if you can't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Because geez Louise, it's not quite a Lambo. A Lambo here is about 300 plus K. Depending, most people are buying the Gallardos and the upper levels of Lambos, at least here in Vancouver. I think for 150 or 125, you might get like a nice Audi or a decent, not a great Mercedes, but a decent one. Crazy how much people pay up for fucking cars. Crazy for how much people are paying for fucking pipes. But hey, if you've got the money, you've got the ability, don't get down on people who are doing that shit. I personally would love to see people who are buying $125,000 pipes also take care of people in their life. I hope that they're helping feed people and helping clothe and house people. But hey, to each their own, man. We're all allowed to buy the things that we want. I just sometimes think that there should be a humility involved, that when you get yourself something on that level, that you might want to be taking care of some of the rest of the world. You got to pay to play there, DB Cooper. Let's do this up, shall we? Well, that was a cheap Mercedes for 6K. Oh, is it only 120K in Canada? That surprises me. That really surprises me because we have a local club here, and you can't get into it without a $250,000 car, and there's quite a few Lambos in there. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say you guys are talking base models, and these kids that are buying these Lambos and these Ferraris and these Bugattis, they're paying high dollars. They're not paying $125,000 for a Lambo. I can promise you. Just saying. I'm not too sure. I don't go to the dispensaries too often. I think they're kind of on par. I think butane oil sells a little bit. There you go, an F-150. There you go, and that's a good deal. I know a guy that just paid 75 grand for one. Yeah, you're talking 1995. Okay, there you go. That's a little bit more accurate. Because there's no way people are getting Lambos for 150 grand. Not here. All right, let's clean this minor Chaz out. Sometimes I like to hit it a little warmer in the morning. That wasn't too warm. The terp dip. Listen, when you hit it with the terps, the taste is so fucking on point, it's ridiculous. Woo! I'm gonna burn my fingers, I put so much in there. Sometimes when it comes out, it steams hot. Burn your shit if you do that. We'll see what happens here. I'll get this Chaz off. I always do. Sometimes I gotta go in a little harder. Especially if I hit it a tiny little bit warmer than usual, I'll go in with my little dabber and I'll just sort of remove the majority of, the part that's just not coming off nice. And then I'll just heat it up a little bit more. And go in with the DC glass cleaner. Now remember, I've given this tip a few times. Even though you might want to, try not to move the Q-tip around too much. Let it just sit on the Chaz. And what it'll do is, if you just let it sit there, it'll pick it up even easier than it would if, you try to do this intuitive sort of scrapey thing. I mean, obviously at one point you're gonna have to scrape a little bit, but for the most part, you shouldn't have to too much. Oh yeah, getting her off. Feels good. Feels good to clean the banger. Feels good to clean the banger. A little bit harder on this one than last, but nonetheless, I do believe it's ready for another rip. That DC glass cleaner is made from this sort of oil, naranja. Is that what it's called? Karanja. Karanja oil, processed coconut extract, processed kelp extract, and processed extract of sugarcane. For those of you that want to ask the question in the future, you can go to DC Glass Cleaner's website. I don't know it, but if you punch it into Google, just the same way you would ask a person, what is DC Glass Cleaner made of, or where can I buy it and whatnot, Google will give you the proper answer each and every time. Q-tips, saving lives, saving DC glass quartz anyway. Wanted to give a shout out to my bro Headstash, who's local here in Vancouver, makes these medicated lollipops. These are artisan lollipops. And this one's got some root burr. It's the root burr. And it is 100 milligrams. Not too bad. Not too bad. Probably get into that a little bit later. Random lollipop, just had it sitting here on the desk. I went and bought all this stash recently from the Heavenly Days guys, and the gentleman who brokers for them, he has his own company and he sells these, so how about that? Yeah, those fly hats. You know what I'll do? I'll get in touch with Adam and I'll see if he can't send me a couple of these hats for giveaway. I have been a loyal wearer of this hat since the day he sent me the two. So, big squirrel nuts, don't fuck with me. I'm just joking, dude. I'm so funny. Like, it's like I I apologize if I'm reactive sometimes, and I don't mean to come across. I'm intense. I don't know if you guys have noticed this yet, but I am a fairly intense person. If you spent any amount of time with me, sure, we could get bubbled up, and I'd be pretty relaxed and pretty baked, but after a couple hours, you'd be like, this motherfucker is intense. And I'm not talking about intense camping. I'm talking about like intense energy flowing outward off of me in all directions at all times. People are kind of enamored with it at first, but it sort of gets annoying after a while. I'm just being honest. Tell us a new joke. Well, I don't really know a joke. I think I told the horrible, horrible, horrible rabbi joke already. Did I tell the rabbi and the priest joke? I must have. It's like one of the only jokes I know. It's a terrible joke. It's definitely not a good joke. But I'll say it anyway. It's derogatory. It insults Jews. It insults Christians. And I'm friends with Christians and Jews, and I have nothing against either of them. But I will tell the joke. The joke goes like this. A rabbi and a priest are walking down the street. They walk by a park and see some boys playing soccer. The priest says, hey, let's go fuck those little boys. And the rabbi says, out of what? Is that funny? All my fucking Christian friends and Jewish friends are going to be like, what's up, dude? That was really fucking mean. What the fuck? I don't believe it. It's funny. It's a joke, but it certainly doesn't have any malicious intent. And for all of my Hebrew brethren and sistren, apologies. For my Christian brethren and sistrens, apologies. I know it's just a few bad apples in the bunch creating stereotypes, but hey, it is what it is. If it made you laugh, then fucking A. Now, if you laughed because it was funny, good on you. If you laughed because you are a hateful, mean, vengeful person who dislikes certain groups of people, then shame on you. So there it is. You know, I'm kind of like with Dave Chappelle on this. Chappelle said years ago, look, bro, I will say anything for a laugh. You know, and George Carlin has a couple of things that are just really intense. His comedy talking about certain things that can be funny that at the time, and even in this time, still to this day, people are like, there's nothing funny about that. A comedian can make something funny about anything as long as you take the hate, the anger, the derogatory, and make it a positive sort of like perspective where you're looking at it and kind of like, ha ha ha. Yeah, absolutely. George Carlin, one of my favorites. One of my favorite. Well, I don't even hate everybody. I think I love everybody the same. It's good. There's no reason not to. Any tips for starting a terpene business? I mean, dude, honestly, just do what everyone does. Copy Blue River. Find the same containers, find the same stickers, find the same lids, create a web page, figure out a method to extract your terpenes with. And then try to innovate. You know, once you've kind of copied the base, I'm not even being joking here. This is what everyone does anyway. And once you've got the base, then your responsibility is to be like, okay, I totally like fucking copied everything about these guys' companies. What can I do to make it something different for the customer? Because in the end, that's all that competition is really about. It's about making the product better for the end user. And it doesn't matter if I don't like that you want to start a company or vice versa. The end user is the person who's going to benefit. And if you do a great job and you copy Blue River, but then you come up with your own method and you innovate and you create something different, well, you're gonna be the next step in the ladder. And trust me, it will be someone who comes along and kind of copies the base. Because listen, there's half a dozen companies and they've all pretty much done the exact same thing. They've copied Blue River. Whether they want to say it or not, it's what they've done. They weren't even thinking about it before we started having this conversation. They heard the conversation, they watched what started happening, and then they jumped in. It's not, I don't know why we shit on people so much for that. I mean, do you think that fucking Eminem just made up all, like, he was inspired by rap. He was inspired, so then he had to go and show his stuff, and this is how it is. We all kind of are inspired by the giants whose shoulders we get to stand on, and those are the people that we're going to, copy a little bit. I don't know why we're so afraid to say it when it's like, if you're inspired by someone, imitate, emulate, innovate. There you go, Tyler. However you want to say it in fancy, beautiful words, that's a very nice way to say it. It's like you're basically going to fake it till you make it. You're going to copy it, you're going to innovate it, you're going to change it. Bubble bags were the exact same thing. thing. And I took mad fucking slack for a decade plus over something that I really shouldn't have. Because let's be honest, bubble bags are fucking awesome. They blow isolator bags right out of the water. And they were for North America when a European woman who was promoting this process was not doing any promotions in North America. I came to North America and I promoted this when it was very illegal and shared it and showed it. And that's what bubble bags did. They weren't the first, but they have been the best. And so it shows you that the first isn't always the best. And so I'm not even being like joking at all when I say, copy. I'm really not. I'd say, James, get in touch with Peter. There's no one that knows more about it in my circle. You can reach him at peter@soilbalancepro.com. You can also Google Soil Balance Pro just in case to make sure that's the right email, and it should be good. I did watch the Eminem thing that was trending recently about the story of how much Dre put himself out there and how many people, I guess what Dre was saying was like racist people in his life that he didn't even know were that racist. You know, talking about M because he was white and had blue eyes. Who gives a fuck what color you are? If you can do the job, then I could care less if you're purple. You got the job, you know? That's it. Did you miss it? Everyone's missed everything. Well, I mean, that's been a lot of work too, but back in the day, isolator bags were known better. I've done a lot of work sharing this information, and if you guys haven't noticed, I try to share it in a very I don't want to shamelessly plug my company, if that makes sense. I don't want to shamelessly promote my company over and over and over again. You'll very rarely see my logo or me wearing one of my own shirts or my own hat for that matter. I try to stay away from that shameless plugging, but I figured my way that I could market my product is A, coming out and having conversations with you guys, sharing bowls with you guys, answering your questions, and always being there to support and give tips and answer in regards to the curing and the processing and the preparing and all these things. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. So I don't think I'm going to stop anytime. I'm actually getting pretty excited. I'm planning my trip for Jamaica. I'm going to be flying there in the next week. We've got a whole bunch of cool shit happening in Jamaica right now. And it just kind of blew up with these products that we've had registered with the Ministry of Health and these permits now that we have to grow and process and cultivate, which is growing actually, research and development, produce products basically, and sell those products. So we're pretty fucking excited. We're going to be getting lots of videos. We're going to be rolling in. Tony and I are rolling in a week after Ernie and Amy from United Cannabis, who are going to be going in and doing a little doctor training, going to a conference in Kingston. Tony and I are going to be heading to a conference in Montego Bay. So that'll be kind of different. We're going to fly into Kingston, but eventually end up in Mo Bay. Quick trip. Hopefully I'll have a couple of days in Toronto afterwards. Some of my friends want me to come there and teach them how to make water hash. And well, if I can't facilitate helping my friends make water hash, then I'm failing miserably. So, well, potency, we used to be really impressed with THC. Like if you were up in the 70 plus THC, and the oils guys would come in and say, we have 80 plus % THC. Slowly but surely, we learned about the importance of the modulating effect or the entourage or the ensemble effect of terpenes and how it creates more of the spacey, full kind of what I would call high versus THC and cannabinoids, which I would call stoned, very one-dimensionally, just kind of like this. The terpenes, they're much more of an ensemble, and that just changes the game completely. So we're more impressed with 40, 50, maybe 60% THC, and in that, a large percentage of terpene profile. I don't like to microplane bubble too much, but if I do, I absolutely freeze. Abso-100%lutely. Oh yeah. It's Blue River 2017 is the new Canadian discount code. Please share that with everyone you guys know. I'll put it up on my Blue River accounts. All lowercase BLUERIVER 2017. Blue River 2017, that is the code. That's going to get you 30% off your order. That's a lot. That's $100 off a Jamaican mill. That's $50 off each Californian vial. It's a good deal. People were loving it. I sold a schwack last month when I did that. And yeah, Blue River 2017. Thank you, DK Trades. You have to live in Canada. That's true. For my company, you have to live in Canada. Karma Cup is the next cannabis culture event in this. That is true. That is true. That is true. Have I ever sent you anything, Wellwater? Have you ever won anything on my channel? Are you meeting up with your reggae brethren when in Jamaica? Yeah, they're like our family, so we will absolutely be meeting up with our reggae brethren when we're in Jamaica. Wouldn't think of it any other way. It would be like them coming here and not calling me up. I'd be tripped out. Thanks, Trey. All right, Will. All right, Wellwater. Today you won this. This is your package. I got the Are You Elite pin from the Karma Cup. I got the PTFE sheet that you can put your rosin on or squish rosin in, terp proof, I guess. And then you get this little silicone dabba doodle here. You can put your oil on here, and it's kind of nice. And anyway, send me an address. Send me an address now if you don't mind. I like to kind of go to the post office. A lot of you guys aren't sending me the addresses right away. I'm not bitching, but I'm saying, can you please send it to me before the show is over? bcbubbleman@icloud.com. And yes, there is a new vape pen coming out for Bubbleman. And so yeah, if you send that right away, I'll get this off. I have the last couple of pins. I did just send a big, there was like 7 people, including Melty Heads, who I hadn't sent the large PTF oil slick tube to. All of that stuff's been sent just the other day. It cost me $115 to send, like I had like 8 or 9 things saved up. Vape pen we had designed by Gary from Omicron. We didn't want to pump out disposable pens. I don't like, the California has this huge marketplace for distillate mixed with terpenes. Gold Drop and Blue River are crushing it. I don't do distillate, but we figured out a way to do rosin and create a distillate-like product without the use of chemical solvents and adding the terpenes back. So what I wanted was a pen I could put my name on. You know, a pen that I could feel good about, that people weren't throwing away each time they smoked a half gram. And so we had Gary design us a pen. He also designed the Hercules, which is a beefcake, like last you forever type shit cartridge. We had him design our cartridge so it's renewable, it's not disposable, and we've got applicators that you can buy the product a little cheaper afterwards, and you'll be able to fill your own pen cartridge. So it's going to be the Trinity cartridge, the Bubbleman Trinity cartridge, and yeah, from Omicron, and Blue River's going to have a little sticker on there. They will be available in the US. In fact, they're going to be refillables, and they'll be sold through, I'm sure, Harborside and BPG, and maybe, you know, LA Kush or the Real Green Dragon. I know they've got some shops. Haven't figured out exactly who's going to carry it yet. Once we have 5 or 10,000 in hand, all filled up, I'm sure someone will be very excited. I'll take a bong rip. In fact, I will puff the Klein. Look at how small the Klein is compared to the egg. It's quite a difference, isn't it? This one's about 7.7 inches, and this one's just under 9. Or just at 9. All right, we got a little dab there. Perfect, perfect. Got a big dab now. Now we got a big one. Here we go. Yeah, we're having a nice time here. We're doing it up. Soon we're going to be doing Wake and Bakes in Toronto. We're going to be doing Wake and Bakes in Jamaica. That's the best part about going to Jamaica. I don't stop my shows. I maintain and continue consistently. Just remember, it's going to be 3 hours later once I get over there, so you won't be seeing me at 9 or 10, but it'll be more along the 12 to 1 p.m. timeline. Karma Cup is September 9th and 10th, and you can go check them out at www.thekarmacup.com. And yeah, or just Google the Karma Cup. It's going to come up right away. Thanks, Grant Wendling. I hope I didn't feel like I gave that good of information today, but ooh, that hurt. That hurt. Did a little nerve damage to the knuckle on my pinky on this hand, and now every time I bang it or touch it, it's like electricity flowing through my hand. Hope that gets better. I'm gonna have to have another little dab because that was a stinger. Yeah, please come to the Karma Cup. If you think you have something worthy of entry, Enter, whether it's a solvent or a non-solvent. I prefer to hit your non-solvent as I am a celebrity judge and I would love to try your guys' hash. I've asked the West Coast boys to enter and the Glacial Melts boys, and I've asked D420K and a few other friends. I know the Great Gardener enters all these things. So there should be some nice hash to try and to taste, but if you guys are out there in the world and you want to fucking see how you stand amongst these guys, dude, why not? What a great way to become the next Conor McGregor. Come knock it out of the park. I'm not sure if I'm planning on coming to Washington anytime soon. I'm sure he'll be there. He enters all these events. He's, he's one of those guys that loves to enter and take place in the competition. We're going to have to pour a little bit in here this time. We chazzed good. Oh, yeah, that's so good. It pulls it off and puts it in the middle in a way that I can't even explain. It is awesome. So, what are we going to talk about here, guys? We talk about hash making. We talk about Karma Cup. We talk about Jamaica. There's a lot of shit going on right now. What are we going to talk about? Well, listen, don't be nervous at all. I cough a lot because I take rips that would crush your soul. They're terp rich, okay? It's not about the size of the rip. It's how much terpene there are present in the rip. I'm not even joking. I cough not a lot, to be honest. And keep in mind, one of the things that I'm doing that maybe a lot of people aren't doing is sitting and talking and using my vocal cords and vibrating my vocal cords without the use of water or taking sips. I'm also puffing extremely strong concentrates with terpenes added to them. Most people's mouths would dry up and their heads would shrink and they'd just be here not talking in the way that I'm able to actually articulate my conversation. I don't have a cold right now. I very rarely get colds. And my throat feels pretty good, other than the fact that I took, probably 10 rips before I went live. And then I've got a little bit of water in there. Even these pipes, oh, don't worry, Raymond, dude. We're still fucking doing this shit. We are not leaving anytime soon. We're just getting into it. Well, we could talk about the reason why people complain about expensive art. When you don't have that kind of money, it's hard to imagine. People do that not just with art, but any type of valuable thing that someone chooses to have that actually has the means to get it. I think it's somewhat petty. I would never go on a plane. This is the analogy I use often. I would never go on a plane and complain if I'm in coach and there are people in first class. I'm happy for them. I'm like, right on. Like, that's sweet. First class, go. I don't sit there going, why is first class tickets so expensive? It's ridiculous. Why should they get to sit up there when we have to sit back? It's like, oh my God, dude, listen, just take your place. Wherever you fit, wherever you can afford, and don't be too upset about it, Sure, there are experiences where it might come in handy to be upset that, monetary situations keep us out of certain areas, but really, who fucking cares? People are buying $40,000 rigs, $50,000 rigs, $100,000 rigs. Of course they are. Crunks sell for mad dough, $100K plus. To each their own, chilling like a villain. Exactly. Someone wants to spend $400K on a fucking Lambo, so be it for them. And someone wants to give away a little $5 or $10 thing every day on their Wake and Bake show. Well, good for them too. Do what you want. Don't be too upset about other people. I don't think I'm I don't know. When someone asks me if I'm elite, I think it comes with being humble. It's weird. People are like, oh, you're elite, dude. You're elite. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I got a whole bunch of aspects of my life. Maybe I'm elite in the ability to isolate glandular trichome heads, but there are whole other parts of life that maybe I'm not so elite whatsoever. So I'm working on those parts. And always trying to maintain, the hash knowledge as well. But how you doing, Rob Moore? I'm still waiting for those cannabis cartoons of Hash Church, Not necessarily funny joke ones, but like actual our voices and our faces put into much the way they've been doing. I've seen this guy do with the Joe Rogan videos, have Joey Diaz or Joe Rogan, and they're just sitting around the table. It's their real voices. It's kind of cool, I think, if some certain little knowledge bombs, little 30-second knowledge bombs, minute-long knowledge bombs, I think it would be a cool thing to animate. And I did see your one the other day. Don't feel weird, brother. We support Todd. Yeah. Well, I don't know. 30 minutes. I think I did it. 10 o'clock. I'm going to have a call here. I actually do have a call. So you send me that email, bro. Water. And I will get you these 3 little things off. 3 little things? Yeah, they're all right here. Gotta put the pipe over here. And I guess in the meantime, we will see all of you guys tomorrow on Friday. It's Friday tomorrow. We got a couple more Wake and Bake episodes before we have a hash church. It's gonna be a fucking stellar hash church. I can promise you it'll be a hash church unlike any hash church you have ever seen. So please help promote it. Let people know that it's gonna be one worth catching. And I'm real excited. It's got the makings of being maybe one of the best hash churches ever. And I don't say that lightly. And yeah. May the full melt bless your bowls sooner than later. Peace out, everybody.